Lawn bowling is more than just a game. There's no talking on the green.
Genuine 1972 prices.
There's nothing this soft. Stick it right up.
From the wide outdoors to the great indoors. Welcome to Without Bias.
Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 13 50 50. Get set, go. Local legends wanted. A bowls green is just up the road. Search bowls clubs near me.
Hello everyone and welcome to Without Bias. Julian Marcus with you on your home of sport, SEN. It's all for Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted. A bowls green is just up the road. Search bowls clubs near me. And Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 13 50 50. Get set, go. Today on the program, we're going to speak with Karen Murphy, the national assistant coach and a former world champion and Commonwealth Games gold medalist, and also our Right at Home Jackaroo segment for Right at Home, the right care right at home. And she'll be part of the 2023 World Championship team, Kelsey Cottrell, on the program. It's all for Apia, proudly supporting Bowls Australia. So we'll start this week with the national assistant coach and a former world champion and Commonwealth Games gold medalist in Karen Murphy. Karen, welcome to SEN.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah, really looking forward to it.
Before we get to the World Championships, I want to ask you about the National Development Series a fortnight ago. How did that go and what did you get out of it?
Look, it was a wonderful, wonderful event for our Pathways squads. So just for everyone at home, our Pathways squads consist of both open and para pathways and emerging athletes. And it was Australian selected into 4 different teams, combining open and so 5 open players and 2 para players within one team. So it was a wonderful spectacle. They prepared really well within their training programs and set their sights on that as a bit of a priority event. And it was a well fought event with some wonderful bowls played in front of the Australian selectors. What
learnings did you take away from it and did you think the players took from it?
Yeah, I think for us as staff and coaches and selectors, it was just the pure enjoyment that they just loved it. Like it was, we had some really wonderful feedback from the players in the event itself, the competition. We tried to simulate an international event for them, so to try and, obviously prepare them and give them experience within that sort of environment. The bowls was of such a high quality that I think it was just the enjoyment that they really enjoyed it, and they had a lot of learnings from it themselves from a coaching point of view and from a performance perspective.
Let's turn our attention to the World Championships. How's the preparation been for our Right at Home Jackaroos, and how much contact have you had with the players in recent times?
Yeah, look, it's contact is often obviously so. The Australian Open was a big preparation event for the players, and then multi-nations prior to that. And then there's been a lot of big events up on the Gold Coast as well. So, I guess from a preparation point of view, and familiarity with the clubs that World Champs is being hosted at, we're very well versed in the characteristics of those clubs, and preparation's been really good. So the players looking forward to it. Obviously, it's creeping up really quickly. It's sort of just over 3 weeks away. So it's a benchmark event for our players, and we're hoping to do well on a familiar scene.
You played in the last World Championships here in Australia, Adelaide 2012. What was it like when you were able to participate in such a big event, represent Australia in front of our home fans? And is there anything that you learned from that you've been able to pass on to our current group of Jackaroos?
Yeah, well, I think, every single player in that event came home a world champion, which would probably, I would be surprised if that ever is achieved again. So, and the key ingredient to that was preparation and the fact that we just knew those greens at Lockley so well. And I think, there's a bit of a similarity with our World Bowls team now that they play all their events at Broadbeach and up on the Gold Coast at Musgrave and Helensvale, and I think that really works in our favour. So it's got a bit of a similar feel to it, I think.
It's the first World Championships we've had in 7 years due to the COVID pandemic. And you're still the 2-time defending women's singles champion. How strange is that feeling that It's been all this time and you're still the last person to salute in the discipline.
It is. It's quite bizarre, to be honest. But I mean, it was just, it was a wonderful feeling. Obviously, when for us all to win a world championship in Adelaide. But my first women's world singles, and then to have the opportunity, or one, to get selected in the team, but two, selected in that discipline to have an opportunity to defend it. So it doesn't. I don't know. It does feel like it was a long time ago, but it doesn't at the same time. I don't know. Like it's. I feel really fortunate to have held on to it for that long, and I really look forward to seeing our two singles players and the rest of our disciplines obviously go really well at the World Champs on the Gold Coast. So if I had to hand over the mantle, I hope it's to an Aussie.
What's the difference in preparation from going from your playing days to moving into the coaching ranks?
Yeah, it's a question we get often asked, I suppose. I guess you can take great confidence into coaching from the experience and knowledge of players that they're playing at these World Championships, plus the clubs that they're playing at and the surfaces that they're playing at and on. But the hardest thing, I guess, in coaching is you can't control anything. So players. Preparation obviously has to be really, like a top class, and they have to be confident going to the event. And our job as coaches is just to support them. It's certainly not to tell them what shot to play or anything like that. They know what shots to play. It's just basically an ear and a shoulder to lean on. And, the first question that they might ask you if you're a ringside coach, or that we would ask as a coach is, what shot are you thinking of playing? And they generally come up with the answer anyway. And it's just clap and say, go get it, and just be that support. And then also, obviously, and in times where players don't win games, that debrief and them identifying what they could have done a bit better and what they did well is key to going into the next round.
What are the next steps ahead of the championships for you?
Nationals follows on from World Championships, so that's in Perth. It's actually a really busy couple of months coming up. So, so I will head to Nationals after Worlds. I've actually got World Champ singles that I'm playing in myself at Robina straight after the World Championships. So, my preparation won't be the best, I suppose, because I'll be working. But I'll be able to have a couple of days on the greens at Robina to have a bit of a practice. And I'll be pumped for it. I think I'm playing alongside Jono Davis, who's our male Australian player. After watching all our wonderful Aussies play at the World Champs, I'll be keen as to get out there, I think.
You just mentioned the World Champion of Champions. Again, you get another chance to wear the green and gold. That must be a pretty special feeling for you.
Yeah, look, it is. It's anytime you pull the Aussie shirt on as a coach, as a player, you win your way through to World Champions. I was super stoked to win the Australian Champions and get another opportunity to go to World Champions. So a bit of an interesting sort of look at that this year with the sets play. So the sets play is something that I haven't played at World Champions before. When I played, it was 21 up. So just World Bowls trying some new sort of formats and things. And I sort of think too that we as a sport and international sport probably need to keep implementing new formats and shorten forms of the game for television, and to keep the spectators interested and keep moving with the times at the same time. Although I'm a traditionalist, I do think we need to do that too. So really looking forward to pulling on the green and gold, and I'll be definitely trying my best out there at Robina.
Well, I wish you the best for when you get out on the green at the World Champion of Champions, and of course look forward to see how our right at home Jackaroos do at the World Championships in a few weeks' time. Thanks for joining us, Karen.
Thanks for having me, and always great to support the show. Thanks very much.
Karen Murphy joining us here on Without Bias. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll speak with a right-at-home Jackaroo, Kelsey Cottrell, ahead of the World Championships on the Gold Coast. This is Without Bias, brought to you by Apia, proudly supporting Bowls Australia and Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted. Search Bowls clubs near me. Welcome back to Without Bias for Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted. A Bowls Green is just up the road. Search bowls clubs near me and Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 13 50 50. Get set, go. Well, all eyes are on the World Championships coming up on the Gold Coast, and somebody who's going to be a big part of it is a member of the Right at Home Jackaroos, Kelsey Cottrell, and she joins us on the program this week. Kelsey, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, in a month's time, you're going back to the World Championships. How excited are you for the opportunity to once again be on one of the biggest stages that you can play on?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I was selected for the 2020 World Championships, so we've had to wait a little bit with COVID and for me personally missing it, the opportunity to go to the Commonwealth Games, just timing wasn't quite right. So yeah, it's been a long time coming since I've played a big major event, and yeah, definitely looking forward to it and starting to think about it a bit more now. Like it's really starting to get close.
And you mentioned you were selected in 2020 to miss out on that and to have to wait 3 years for the opportunity to roll around again. Does it mean more than it usually would?
Yeah. So when I was, or not long after I was selected for 2020, I was pregnant with my second bub. So I probably started to have those thoughts like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to get the chance to come back and play for Australia again? And then sort of coupled with, like trying to start out in a new career and working full time. And it was starting to feel like it was getting further and further away. But yeah, it's been great the last 12 months to be back in the mix with the Jackaroos and fighting for a spot for the World Championships was just great to be back playing that really competitive bowls and to have the opportunity to play World Championships again, and on home turf too is pretty awesome.
You're going to be playing in the triples and the fours as the skip. You've got 2 golds already. What would it mean to you to be able to take home a third, especially after what you've just mentioned, not knowing if you maybe would get that opportunity again?
Yeah, it would be extra special. Playing with 2 great chicks in Lindsay and Dawnie. Dawnie's playing her first World Championships, the first time she's been picked in a team of 5. So she's played a lot of international stuff as part of the Jackaroos and things like multi-nations and trans-Tasmans, but this is her first big major World Championship. So very excited for her. And excited to be teaming up with Linz. She's one of my best mates, and we've played a lot together over the years. So it'd be fantastic. And then in the fours, we've got Christina as well from WA. I haven't played a lot with Chrissy, but really enjoy her company and very excited to have her in the team. She's playing so well, so it's always good to have players in form. So hopefully I'm expecting a bit of an armchair ride, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, you've got Dawn Heyman, Lindsay Clark and Christina Christek. It's a formidable group that you're going to be a part of. Have you had much contact with them to discuss plans yet?
Yeah, we've had a few events together, so we've had a great opportunity to go up to the Sunshine Coast and play. We didn't have Christina for that one, we had Jessie, but we had a great hit out as the 3 of us from the triples, and then we've had a hit out at Broadbeach against the guys in a really good quality tournament. So we got, I think it was 8 games there together just to work on our game plans, work on just how we're sort of going to interact with each other, and especially in those really pressure moments. So lots of games under the belt, and like I said before, I've played a lot with Linz and away. We've played a lot together over the years, whether it's fours or pairs, both locally from the Gold Coast. So live around the corner from each other. Our kids go to the same school, so lots of history there. So I think we'll be right. But and so they've got the 2 old ones at the back, and then we've got the 2 young ones at the front, hopefully doing all the heavy lifting for us.
So tell us about when you do have these discussions planning for a tournament. What kind of what do you discuss? How does that to really start from ideas and conceptualizing what you're going to do out in the green?
Yeah, so when we've had these practice events, they were prior to seeing the draw. So it was very much about what our strengths and weaknesses are as individuals and how we can bring that together into a 4. So we very much just worked on, in those tournaments, just working out what we're comfortable with and our sort of game plan. And then in the next few weeks, we've now seen the draw. We've had a couple of discussions about the draw, who we're playing, what clubs we're playing at on what days, in what direction. So we're very much across the draw, and very lucky to have that home ground advantage and know these clubs really well.
It's been 7 years since you were last at the World Championships. As you've mentioned, you've had to wait a long time. How has your game changed since the last time you were on this stage?
I think it's Yeah, it's probably definitely changed a lot. I was a lead there for a start. I sort of started out that event as a skip, but ended up finishing the fours as lead. I was pregnant with my first child back then, so I wasn't even a mum yet. And I think that has definitely changed me. I think it's sort of toughened me up a bit and gives you that sort of perspective that doesn't matter what happens on the green. Like, things can be a lot worse than losing a game of bowls. So I think I've just changed my mindset a bit. I don't put as much pressure on myself to do well. I just really enjoy being out there playing. And to have that opportunity to still be playing at this elite level with a couple of kids and, work and studies and all that's happened over the years. It's pretty cool. I feel very fortunate to still be around.
Speaking with Kelsey Cottrell, as part of the Right at Home Jackaroos at the World Championships coming up, right at home, improving the quality of life for those we serve. You mentioned Lindsay. It's going to be her last tournament as a Jackaroo. How special would it be if you got the opportunity to step onto the podium with her one more time?
Yeah, I mean, that would be the icing on the cake. But we actually had a bit of a chat about it the other day, and I think we're probably both in the same boat that we're just so excited to both get the opportunity to play in the World Championships again. And yes, it'll be her last, and whatever happens, we'll have that memory together of her playing in the last World Championships. She's going to get the chance to play on home greens in front of all our family and friends, which is pretty cool too. We've all got family and friends that will be coming to watch and cheering us on. So yeah, and just expecting lots of Aussie support in the crowds.
What are you expecting the crowd to be like? You get to do it, as you said, in your home city on the Gold Coast. To get to play World Championships in your hometown, what's that going to be like for you?
Yeah, it's probably a bit of a relief, I think, to know that, your family and friends can be there. There's no, I suppose I've gone through that barrier of the last Commonwealth Games being overseas and that just being just that little bit too tricky with our sort of family situation at the time. So, I guess a relief to have it locally, to be able to just jump in the car, head down the road, know that I'm only half an hour away from home if something happens, knowing that I can see my kids throughout the event. They can pop in after school and pop in after daycare and say hi and watch a bit of bowls. I think it will just make me feel like I'm just playing another event and feel really relaxed and just really enjoy the moment of the World Championships. And especially that first week, I think probably the first week more than anything, really want to try and make finals because it is at my home club, Club Helensvale, and I've been, I work there full time, so I'm seeing all the plans of where the grandstands are going to go up and, hearing, these numbers like, having potentially 1,000 people turn up for finals. I definitely want to be a part of that. So yeah, it's all exciting. The excitement's definitely building and just back to, I probably should have given Lindsay a bit more of a plug. She's an absolute superstar in our Jackaroos and she won't be missed to the sport. She's a fantastic coach and mentor for lots of young ones coming through. So we'll still see lots of wins. But yeah, hopefully we can say goodbye to her and, as a player, in a great way.
What are you expecting the crowd to be like on the Gold Coast when the World Championships get underway and you step out on the green?
Yeah, well, I suppose comparing it to Adelaide 2012, the crowds were fantastic there. The Aussies really come in their droves and really got behind us, so it was great to play. I was lucky enough to play a World Championship final there, pairs with Rebecca, who's now our coach. But to play that in Adelaide in front of a full crowd was really cool. So, and then the Gold Coast as well with the Commonwealth Games not that long ago. Crowds were fantastic. People really got behind bowls, come and cheer us on. And yeah, so I think I'm definitely looking forward to that. I know there will be some foreigners in the crowd that come over and support their charges as well, but it's always going to be a great atmosphere if we get lots of Aussies in the crowd cheering us on.
Your daughters are going to be in the crowd as well. How much are you looking forward to being able to look over and see them as you take to the green? Yeah,
very much looking forward to it. I think it's just good memories for us as a family. I think, no matter what happens, no matter what the result is, just looking forward to getting some great photos so that we can still be talking about this in years to come. That mummy played in a world championship, and I'm trying to get my 5-year-old now into sport. She's trying a few different sports. She's currently playing netball. She's had a go at cricket. She's talking about maybe having a go at AFL. Tennis. I've got her out there playing tennis a fair bit. So we're just a really sporty kind of family. We just love watching sport. And my kids know that, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like we watch it's football, and then when the cricket's on, there's no more kid stuff. Like we've got to watch the cricket. So we're definitely growing up in that sporting environment, and that's how I grew up as well. My family was like that as well, very much involved in sport. So yeah, just hoping the kids follow in my footsteps, but maybe not so much on the bowls path, maybe like tennis or golf.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you on the green and continuing the incredible career that you've had, and best of luck for the World Championships. Let's hope that you can take home another gold.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Kelsey Cottrell joining us here on Without Bias, and she's going to be a big part of the Right at Home Jackaroo side at the World Championships. And speaking of right at home, our right at home players of the week are Max Jeffrey and Neville Jenkins for taking out last week's Rainbow Versatility pairs at Club Tweed. So congratulations to both of you. You're our right at home players of the week. Right at home, improving the quality of life for those we serve. And of course, if you want to go back to previous episodes of the program last week, we spoke about the pairs event that took place at Club Tweed. You can search for Without Bias wherever you download your podcast. My thanks to Karen Murphy and to Kelsey Cottrell for their time for this week's edition of Without Bias. We're back to do it again, same time next week. It's all for Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted. A Bowls Green is just up the road. Search Bowls clubs near me. And Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 13 50 50. Get set, go. That's it for this week. Enjoy your weekend out on the green. We'll be back with you same time next week for another edition of Without Bias, right here on SEN.